So, very often during the week when I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say on Sunday, I sit upstairs on a couch in the upstairs bedroom, looking out the window at the backyard. And I'm seeing the world coming back to life. We're all seeing the world coming back to life. And there is one tree in our backyard that I want to talk to you about. This tree, it's an oak tree. It is the last tree of any tree around to lose its leaves. It hangs on to these leaves. They're dead, mind you, all the way through winter, all the way past like March. They don't really let go of those leaves until there's some new, buds coming in. And, they're dead. It's like they are super glued on the tree or something, just hanging on, as if the tree wouldn't know what it was without the leaves. Sounds a little human, doesn't it? Sounds a little bit like us humans who hold on to things, old ways of being, old ways of beliefs, old ideas, because who knows, we can't let go. Maybe we think these things define us. So this tree and me, and probably most of us, I think, hold on to this old stuff because it's fear. It's out of fear. Fear of the unknown. Right? Fear that if we let this little bit go, we may not have any more. So the tree is a really good teacher for me. In fact, I think most of the natural world can be a really good teacher for us. If we pay attention, if we notice the similarity, and if we dare to look within us and really explore what restricts our growth, what allows us to blossom. By observing nature, we might be inspired to ask some questions, and we look within and ask some questions. What is it that I'm holding on to that really is seeking to be released? What am I clinging to? What do I feel defines me? What am I allowing now? Maybe this is the question. What am I allowing to begin to blossom in my life? And what would I be if I let go of my story? What would I be if I let go of the fear, if I release the fear? Wow, maybe I could be as free as that flowing river, as the waves in the ocean. Could I be as free and powerful as the waves in the ocean? So another aspect of the natural world that can be a good teacher for us, I think, is the snake. So I wonder if the snake, the first time it sheds its skin, if it thinks it's dying. Like, what's happening to me? What's going on here? And has anybody seen a snake shedding a skin, like on a video or in person? Yeah? It's quite the process. It actually takes, depending upon the snake, 3 days to a week. For large snakes, maybe 2 weeks. And during this time, it's vulnerable. It doesn't hunt. It's got to find a place to hide, like in the grass or the bushes somewhere, while it's tending to its rebirth, right? And it's the process. And so once it starts, it buries its head. It rubs its head into the ground to get it started, and then it undulates. Does it sort of undulating as it continues, undulate day after day until finally it works its way out of the old skin. And the new skin is so bright and beautiful and shining and colorful and new. So if we look to ourselves and see the lesson in that, what new, wonderful, beautiful being lies within us, underneath the old skin of old limited ideas about what we think about ourselves and about life and what we think is possible for us. What lies underneath that? What is waiting to be birthed, unveiled, unfolding? We don't know until we release the old, right? We don't know until we release the old. And I know, sometimes it's holding on to these old things. I understand, it's comfortable. It's comfortable to kind of hold on to these old things. It just feels familiar, even though we've outgrown it. Even if it's painful, it's like sometimes just oddly comfortable. Like, we get used to feeling less than brilliant. It becomes a habit, like wearing an old, comfortable, tattered pair of stretchy jeans. Those that you put on when you're feeling kind of icky and you just want to hang out. Yeah, that's, there is a Nirvana song whose main lyric is, I miss the comfort in being sad. Over and over, I miss the comfort in being sad. Wow, powerful. Yeah. We get used to accepting these limitations in life. We get used to accepting disappointments and pain, and after a while it's just like, well, that's life, right? That's just life. It's living. Not living. It's not living. You've heard that expression, living lives of quiet desperation. That's actually one of the transcendentalists, Thoreau, Henry David Thoreau. And the full quote is, the mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with their songs still in them. Now that's not us, right? You wouldn't be here if that were you. We come here in order to be inspired to live more fully and more abundantly, of course. But sometimes we get a little stuck. Sometimes we get a little, I know I do, get a little too comfortable with where I am in my spiritual growth. A little too comfortable with where, certain areas of my life. It's a little too comfortable. It might be a clue if somebody asks you how you are and you say, same old, same old. Ooh, maybe you're hanging on to some dead leaves. Because it's the nature of life, the nature of the universe to continue to unfold and expand and evolve. And that's the nature of things. We're part of that. That is part of our nature. Life is continually calling us upward and to evolve. There is this higher vision that is always perpetually seeking to emerge through and as us. Yes, do you feel that? Feel that desire is constantly, it's pulling me. And yet, it takes energy. It takes energy to overcome the inertia. It's too much work. And courage. It takes courage, really, to break out of that familiar and move towards the unknown. It takes courage. It takes a level of surrender. And like the snake, we could feel a bit vulnerable in this period of rebirthing. We could feel, not quite ourselves, like unsure of ourselves. Without the armor of the familiar, we might feel a bit naked. So as I was thinking about this week, that show kept coming to my mind. You ever heard of this show, Naked and Afraid? It's like, I'll share this with you. It's amazing to me that they find these people to do these things. Where do they come from? But apparently, contestants are lining up out the door for the opportunity to be dropped in the middle of a harsh, unfriendly, strange environment, naked. I think they get a backpack with a stranger. And these teams have to compete with each other to see who survives the longest on their wits alone. Yeah, no, seriously, it's a show. Millions of people watch this. Yeah, and I think, well, maybe there's something compelling. Hear me out. There is something compelling about having nothing but your inner sort of sense of things, and to see how deep you can dig into the courage and the strength and the creativity that you would need to survive in that. There's something compelling about that, to see how you could survive in a harsh. Now, I would have no desire to do, or any kind of survivalist thing, no. But there is kind of a desire to see how strong, how courageous, how much resilience, tenacity, that I would have facing a challenging situation. Now, we don't have to be dropped in the middle of a harsh landscape with nothing on, literally, in order to demonstrate that for ourselves. Because we have plenty of opportunities in our life. Plenty of challenging circumstances and events that they either come our way, or maybe we unconsciously create them in order to prove to ourselves how powerful we really are. How powerful, how brilliant, how magnificent we really are. These events kind of force us to either shrink or grow, to die or to be reborn. So experiences like divorce, death of a loved one, financial ruin, a job loss, addiction, a diagnosis, a serious diagnosis. So these and other challenging experiences can be an opportunity for us to start again, to really birth some wonderful new part of us that has yet to be realized. And until we begin that journey, we don't know what's possible, right? We don't know how magnificent life can be. We don't know how powerful and amazing we can be. And so another expression of this natural world that is a perfect analogy here, and one that we have probably talked about way too much, but I'm going to say it again because it really fits. Can you guess?
The butterfly.
You got it. The caterpillar that transforms into a butterfly, right? That caterpillar has absolutely no idea of the magnificence, of the beauty and the magnificence and the power that is within it. It also doesn't know that it's going to need to die to completely dissolve in order for that beauty, that magnificent self to be born. And the other thing about that is that it needs to create a safe space for this transformation to happen, to tend to its rebirth. So it creates this very solid, cocoon for this to happen, for this rebirth to happen. And it hides away like the snake. It have to hide away, somewhere where it won't be disturbed for this to happen. So this could be a clue for us. When we're faced with an experience that we want to allow the transformation to come. We want to allow a rebirthing. We want to allow for a higher self to be rebirthed out of this situation. Then we need to create a safe space for us. Sort of cocoon a bit and allow in only positive, loving people who care about us. who can remind us that we are more powerful than any past experience. We're more powerful than our story. We're more powerful than any circumstance. We want people that can remind us of that. So the challenging experience that demanded a rebirth in me was when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, which was the same thing that took my mother's life at the age of 68, which I think is pretty young. And so I was kind of faced with, okay, we're either going to shrink or grow. We're going to die or be reborn here. So I was really faced with an opportunity to rethink who I was and to release. What is it I need to release? That's a big one, let me tell you. That's shedding. What is it I need to release here? And what do I need to call forth? So, for instance, courage, strength, self-compassion, self-love, big time, forgiveness, the ability to stay centered in my spiritual awareness, regardless of the circumstance. That's what needed to be called forth. And I did. I think, just intuitively, I created a safe space, this cocoon, where I let in only positive voices, only positive, loving, caring voices, and just held at arm's length any fearful images, any negative voices. And then eventually emerged. I had no idea honestly, until I began this journey, I had no idea how powerful I was and how really I could stand in spiritual truth regardless of what I was going. Had no idea. So now, you don't need to wait. Let me just get this real clear here. You don't need to wait for a challenging situation in your life in order to release what you've outgrown and rebirth into your magnificent self. We can initiate that journey right now. Who wants to initiate that journey right now? Yes. All right, sit on back, put down whatever you have in your lap. Let's have a little journey. We're going to borrow the imagination of a child here in this. Going to go into our little cocoon. So sit back, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Just go within that deep inner knowing, that deep inner wisdom within you. And kind of look at different areas of your life. Look for maybe anything, any area where you've become stagnant. Any area that you know deep down you've outgrown. Old ways of being. Old ideas about what you think is possible for you. Just allow that inner wisdom to guide your thinking into these areas. It's time now to shed that layer, to shed what is restricting your growth. It's time to let go of the idea that these old things define you. It's time to let go of the fear. Take a deep breath. And on the exhale, release all of that. Release it, release it, release it. Spiritual growth is less about bringing something to you, adding something to you, and really all about releasing what's holding you back, releasing what no longer fits the higher vision for your life. Releasing what no longer fits that higher vision for your life. So we want to listen. What's trying to emerge? So imagine that you are a caterpillar now. Or just be caterpillar. And go inside your cocoon, this safe, sacred space. And rest. Rest here. Let go. Surrender to the process. Surrender. Trust. Trust the process. Keep breathing. Now allow a sense to grow within you that there is a beautiful, magnificent butterfly self that wants to be recognized, that wants to grow, that wants to emerge. That magnificent, brilliant, amazing self that you are, coded in your DNA, the spiritual truth of you, is seeking to emerge. And feel this self becoming stronger, developing more, becoming fully present and alive. Feel your wings becoming stronger. Keep breathing. Feel these wings. You see the possibility now. You see the possibility when expressing this highest, beautiful, divine self that you are, what's possible in life. You can fly. You can fly. And so feel that this butterfly self is ready to break out of this cocoon. And now take a deep breath with me. Feel this cocoon opening. Open your eyes. Begin to feel your butterfly wings expanding out. Stretch. Feel your wings expanding out. And now, let's all take flight. Let's take flight as our full expression of our amazing self. Yes. Yes. Somebody came in with who was it that came in with the child completely in the right theme? It was Forrest. She has caterpillar shoes and butterfly wings. I thought, you got the memo, girl. She's manifesting what we're working on right now, right? I love it. Yes, be your butterfly self today. Namaste. Hi. If this video has inspired you, opened your heart, expanded your consciousness, filled you with hope, empowered you in some way, we encourage you to support what we offer here at Unity Center of Peace by making your donation now. And thank you.